good afternoon, everybody. This is, let me introduce myself to some of you who do not know me. My name is Rick Hassey. I am a member of the Practicum team here at the University of La Verne, along with Mark Hicks, Professor Hicks, and Professor Frank Fiallo. We are the Practicum instructors for this spring semester, and our task is to have you learn how to become corporate entrepreneurs, to become successful businessmen and women, to be leaders, and to understand how to manage a business. And that's our task this semester. I know all of us have met in the course of the month of January to prepare for this beginning of the spring semester. We will be going through this training every Tuesday for the next 4 weeks to learn how to set up our internet sites to begin selling our products. I know all of you are beginning to select your products, select your charities, organize your teams, and we'll be working on that this week, all leading up to in about 4 or 5 weeks to present our business plan and our products and our teams to Wells Fargo to begin the selling portion of our semester. But we have a lot of work to do to prepare for that. We hopefully you take very seriously these training sessions on Tuesdays. This is the primary venue to sell your products this semester. This is the real world these days. Selling on the internet, marketing on the internet, distributing on the internet. And that's what the main task of these sessions are. So every team member needs to be engaged, be aware of how this all works, especially the internet team members on each one of your teams. You need to concentrate on this. If you have questions, ask questions. If you have ideas about how to develop these sites with your experience, please take advantage of that. So I welcome all of you. I look forward to working with you all. On a side note, in addition to my practicum responsibilities with my course, I am also responsible for the financial and administrative functions of the 3 teams in our practicum. And I will be sending a email out later on this week to all the new CEOs and CFOs of your 3 teams to meet with me at a time next week, just to begin preliminary organization of our bank accounts, of how we're going to get our products, and a lot of the infrastructure of managing our financials of our teams. So CFOs, CEOs, once you get designated, I will be sending you an email, and we're going to get together as a group next week. So with that, I sign over to Professor Hicks, and Mark, please welcome the group.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Mark. There you go.
That better?
Yeah.
All right. So the people in my group, we've gotten to know each other over the last few weeks. The other people in the other practicums, I welcome you. I just really emphasize some of the things that Rick said. This is an important program. Some of you are coming to this and you could care less about websites and social media marketing and business on the internet. It's not that you could care less, but that's not your thing. It's not your bailiwick. You're really looking forward to doing something else. But everybody needs to understand, we would be remiss not to expose you to selling, to having a business model that markets and gets customers on the internet, because you're not going to go to work anywhere that doesn't have a website. And you're not going to go to work in most places that don't generate business from the internet, either customers or sales directly. So it's in your best interest to work with all of the people that are working with social media. Find time to get some videos together. Find time to make content. Find time to put trust and just a good rapport with your customer out there. Gather as many emails as you can. Keep up that rapport with people, and it will pay off in the end. But the most important thing here is that you understand how it works, that you understand how social media works. It's not just, Instagram and TikTok. It's a few other things that build a campaign over a period of time, and you've seen it happen to you. You've been a part of somebody's campaign where they're constantly connecting with you in some way to, generate interest in their product. And then sure enough, when you need that product, that's who you go to. So take advantage of it, learn as much as you can. And I appreciate all of you that will be working in my practicum to, really put some time and effort into this part of selling, this part of marketing your business, because it happens every day out there in the real world. So, okay, that's it for me. John?
And I would be remiss if we didn't ask the big kahuna, the marketing specialist. He has any words to kick us off? Any words of inspiration as we get going?
Yeah, just I see Mark is just right around the corner from me in front of Founders. There he is. He's way over there. I see him. He's right in front of Founders Hall. How cool is that? We're over here at the campus. It's a beautiful day. I just want to reiterate what my partners have told you. We've got a journey here in the first 5 weeks. It's going to be a lot of stuff to learn in addition to the building a web page and learning this new medium and getting really good at it. Be sure to, for those of you that are in my marketing class, we just come off of marketing, talking about some serious stuff about marketing. Get with your marketing professor, because that's the one you need to talk to get help as far as what we're doing on the internet. Very important. Sean is going to give us the tools, and this is actually the tactics to do this. But behind the tactics are a strategy. Without the strategy, we'll enter the football game and get real good at throwing a pass and not real good at the strategy. And we know what that can happen. So pay real close attention. Stay with an open mind, growth mindset, and get as much as you can get out of this. This is a golden opportunity to learn something you most likely wouldn't learn in a regular type of stuff. So it's all your show now, Sean.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick us off with a quick poll while I introduce myself and my team. My name's Sean. I am with the University of Laverne Small Business Development Center program, which is a department on campus where we have a grant-funded program through the Small Business Administration and the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. And our whole MO, or purpose for existence, is to help business owners get started, grow, all that good stuff. And obviously part of which is a digital marketing presence, especially during COVID. Everybody's kind of pivoting to going online. And I want to give a big shout out to my team that's on the line: Joshua Boteo, Sophia Nyborg Anderson, and Annie Bowie, who are here today also supporting the cause. And our cause today is to help you sell, because typically this program, you get the chance to sell in person. Due to COVID, the first time we went through this, we had to kind of pivot quickly, just like a business. So we pivoted to online sales, and Mark was able to, and Professor Hassey and Professor Hicks and Professor Fiala were able to finagle some free coupon codes from Wix to be able to sell these products online. So we kind of built this, and now this is the second go around. So hopefully it'll be a little bit better for you folks. I'm going to end the poll now. My question was, have you ever built a website before? And it's an even split, 75 no, 25% yes. So I don't know if I can show this. I should share results. Oh, let's check this out. I'm trying to make it engaging. This is my best attempt, because I like to, with this new normal, we got to get engaged. We got to reach out to people in ways that we hadn't before. Like this morning, I was on a Zoom call with some guy that I connected with on LinkedIn. He's in Temecula. I'm asking him for money. And, I don't get the chance to do that, in person like we used to. So good to hear that about 75% or 2/3, okay, don't laugh, 3/4 of the group here are new to websites. But honestly, it doesn't matter if you're brand new or you've been doing this for the longest time. Building a website is quite honestly rather easy these days. And I'm going to share my screen here. because it doesn't matter if it's Wix, like we're going to go through today, or let's say other ones would be like Shopify or Square or Squarespace, but they all basically give us a way to engage with people online, right? And so we have a little fun-filled journey in store for you. This meeting will be the one of a couple. I think we got 4 on the books, quasi 5, because we're going to create these websites, but just as important as creating is being able to take it down too, because we got to kind of go full circle on this. But first meeting we're going to cover today is the basics and kind of getting set up. Our second meeting, we're going to kind of take the sites live and upgrade them, talk about taxes and shipping, which are really going to be important. Then meeting 3, we're going to go through accepting payments, fulfillment, and some reports, because I know that somebody on your team is going to be responsible for each one of these areas. And then Josh and Sophia on our team are going to come in at meeting 4 and help you with some ideas with marketing, because just like Professor Fialo said, it's about the strategy. You can have all these different individual tactics, but how do they all coalesce? So in a short, that is kind of what we're going to be going through. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because we all get that way. And it's like, oh my gosh, all this information, you're kind of drinking from a fire hose. Well, we're recording this, so you can always go back to it. I actually have a playlist where we went through it last year that you can kind of skip ahead in the chapter. If you're like me in college, I would always like try to read the chapter ahead so I can be like, I know what we're talking about, even though I just learned it like 10 minutes before. But if you want to be cool like that, you can skip ahead and kind of get up to date with where we're going. But this is kind of our outline. This is our plan for the next 4 Tuesdays. And today we're going to be going over just the basics and getting set up. And I'm going to go over some stuff, and then we're going to get into breakout rooms. And you've all been pre-assigned to your breakout rooms, but that's why you had to register. So we're going to take some time where you guys can get into your own groups, because that's what's probably most important. You're figuring out who each other are, what you're doing, what you're selling. Everybody's going to be at a different stage of development, if I can recall from our last go around with this. So how does that sound? Thumbs up, thumbs down, one of each. Crying emoji? No? Okay. So let's get into it. So the first thing we want to do is I want to introduce you to Wix. It's a common web platform. I particularly like it really well for a lot of our business owners because it makes it really easy. You got WordPress.org, and I built on that. I built on pretty much every platform, but this one is just like super easy to get started. And I want to share with you kind of how to do that. So if you already have an account with Wix, you're going to go up here top right and sign in. Again, when we get into our breakout groups, whoever's in charge of building the website, I think there's going to be like 1 or 2 people this go around that are going to be like the primaries. Is that right, Professor Hicks or Professor Hazzy? Yeah, okay. So whoever that is, you're going to kind of share your screen in your breakout group, and I want you to kind of get familiar with this, kick the tires on it. And so if you have an account, you're going to sign in. If you don't, you're just going to hit get started. But since I have an account, I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. And if you're new, you're not going to be met with this screen. Rather, you're going to be met with something that looks like this. I picked the top right. It says create site. In most web platforms, they're going to walk you through a little bit of a wizard, whereby they're going to kind of ask you, what kind of website you're looking to create. And since we're trying to sell products for our charity, we want to move some product, we're going to create an online store. And right away, you're going to be met with a bit of a fork in the road. And I want to share with you quickly both, because Wix has an ADI, or artificial design intelligence tool, and then they have an editor tool. And I want to look at both of them to give you kind of the pros and cons, if you will, of each. And I'm going to start with the ADI first. And this ADI tool kind of tries to make it even easier to build a website. So enter your business website type. I'm going to go with skate shop, like I did last semester. I'm a big skater. Any skaters on the line? Online skateboard shop. Rick or Professor Hassey, did you have it? Can you kick flip, tray bomb, any of those things?
Are you kidding?
He's like, I can do a front side kick flip. I don't know.
I can do a body check. That's about it.
Well, I'm going to go with a skate shop as an example. And now it's going to ask me some questions like, what do you need on your site? And don't be afraid if going through this, you forget to check something off. Like I want to have a subscribe form or an Instagram feed, you know, because even if you don't mark what you need, you can always add it later. If you have like let's see, the name of your online store, I'm gonna go with Sally's Skate Shop. And then I think it's going to ask me like if I have a logo or if I have an existing website, it'll try to take the text and fonts from my existing website. Or if I had an existing logo, it might try to add like a color palette because branding is going to be important, knowing your Pantone and your fonts. But after that, it's like, okay, what kind of like theme or what kind of look and feel do you like? And not to say you can't change any of this later, but it's going to take this information and kind of give you a couple different options to choose from to just get you off and running. And it does pretty good. But even if you don't like any of these options, you can always change them. So let's say, I don't know, let's go with this middle one. Now we've got what I refer to as a dummy website, or basically a website with, you know, content on it that's really basic, like paragraphs that say, I'm a paragraph. It's asking us, you know, do we want to add certain pages to our site? Yeah, we want an FAQ, we want store policies. So it's giving us content to think about as you build. And that's going to be one of your homework items to start getting familiar with Wix. We're going to use the free version until next meeting when we upgrade. But really building a website and writing a business plan, it's about content. Like, who are you? What's your message? Who's your charity? What do you sell? All of those things. And it takes time to put that stuff together, to find the right imagery that either makes this appealing to you or conveys your message. But here is where the main difference lies with that fork in the road that I told you about earlier. And if we click on this image or anywhere on that page, this fly-in window is going to come in on the left-hand side. And what I like about the ADI feature is it's got global fonts and themes. So if you change the fonts or the colors, it will change it throughout the site. And it will give you some different design ideas. So if you don't like that, let's change it up. Oops, let me click that. Let's go select design. And now we can quickly, easily change it. Now we've got this little kind of call to action over here on the right. Maybe we want to add a button, things like that. So I'm not going to kind of bore you with this interface because I think everybody on this call can probably click through, get familiar with it pretty easily. But that's what I like most about, if you will, this ADI version. But let's go back to that fork in the road and let's go the other way. You know, I feel like that's a Goldilocks, but you know, I don't think there's a fork in the road in that movie, but let's pretend there is. So now we're going to go with the editor. And this is personally my preference because I like to have full control over my site. Like I want to, and I'll show you in just a second. So then again, instead of asking us questions, we jump right into templates. So I'm going to type in skateboarding and oops, skate. Let's see what that brings up. You can get all different types, and technically we can modify even this Brickyard kind of pizza website to anything we want because we can change the images, but I kind of like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click edit. You can click view and click around to see if it's what you like before you go into the editor. But this option will essentially skip right over all those questions and take you into now the editor. And now this editor is full control. So if I want to move this over to the left, I can move it over to the right or left. I can move it back. And just like Word, if I mess up Apple Z or Command Z or Control Z, whichever kind of computer you're on, it's very it's a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. I would encourage you to, when you click on things, to see the little buttons that pop up because that Wix really does a good job of the interface and making it easy to change the text. So I can double click this and say, instead of kings of the road, I want queens of the road, you know, that easy. So I really like this platform from that kind of aspect, the editability. So you don't have to hire some kind of web developer to go change your address. You can literally log in yourself and do this stuff. If I want to change the background page, and this one's a video. So if I click on video, and again, I like Wix also. I keep saying I like Wix, man. I do have a shirt in my closet over here that says I heart Wix because one of my old consultants loves WordPress. So we're like always at each other. but I do like it because Wix, I can even go in and go into they have Shutterstock and a lot of free kind of, what do you call them? Free pictures and videos you can search for to make it easy to grab and curate those imagery. But let's go with skateboarding videos. Let's see what I can find here. I can click this, and this is, well, the word I was looking for was like, your rights to them. They're available to you because you don't want to take someone else's image or video when you don't have the rights to it, because it's kind of like not a good thing to do. But over here at the top, we've got some buttons you can click around. Let's see, if you want to save. And when you save it, it's going to ask you to create like a domain name, just like Facebook and Instagram. They'll give you, facebook.com/your name. It really doesn't matter what you call this just yet, because later on we're going to connect our own domain name, and so I want you to be thinking about what your domain name is that will hopefully coincide with something that tells a little bit about your product or something that's kind of intuitive. But also check to make sure that it's available using like GoDaddy or Google Domains, because we want to be able to get a domain for you. So that's www.mycompany.com. We're totally legit with this website now. We're going to be selling product through it, so we got to look and play the part. And you'll also notice that these are secure websites, so they're the SSL certificates and everything come packaged together with it. So let's just save and continue, and it just gives you a bunch of pop-ups. So I'm gonna publish this, and now I have kind of like a basic website where I can see Queens of the Road. It's live, just technically at seanrsnyder.wix.com. So we don't have the www.com yet, but we're going to start adding now content to this website. So I want you, if you're in charge of the website, looking at imagery. Like, I'm not selling skateboards in my example. I'm going to sell t-shirts. So I need to get some pictures of the t-shirts and stuff like that to be able to upload. But to any website, there's usually two ends. You have the front end that we're kind of looking at here, which is, if you will, what the visitor sees when they land. And then you have, if you will, the back end. And I think if I'm looking at what we're covering so far today, the review the front end, okay, I'm right on point. Review the front end and the back end. So I want to get to the back end of the website. And yes, it is mobile friendly. Woo-hoo. We are going to go to settings and then go to my dashboard. And you can play around with these, like if you want to add a page. So like, for example, up here at the top, we have home, shop, our story, blog, customer service. There's a lot of baked in functionality and content. You'll need to go to each page and our story, for example, and then update this. See how it says like, I'm a paragraph. Well, double click in there, enter your text, enter your pictures of your team, etc. But I bring it up because there's a lot that you can add to websites, but here's where I'm going to caution you. Less is more. When you have a website, you want a clear, concise message, imagery, but also call to action. So if I'm going to my homepage, I mean, just keep that in mind. Less is more. When I land on your website, I want to know exactly that, one, I'm in the right place, and that's where branding and marketing kind of come in terms of your logos, your fonts, like, oh, this logo is exactly what I was after. But then two, I want to be immediately knowledgeable of what you want me to do. So shop now. And so this shop now implies like it's going to take me to other pages. And that's why I want to go to the back end, where you go to your dashboard. Now, again, don't get overwhelmed. It won't take too long to kind of get familiar with the front and the back end, but there is a lot of like menus and things looking at you and stuff like that. So just don't worry about it. But on the back end, we're probably going to be working with other people to help us build this website. So if you're doing like a team, or you're going to be contributing in some way or shape or form, I want to point out here that there's a lot of power under the settings, and kick the tires on this, but don't create any accounts. Like don't connect a payment process or anything like that. Just, you can enter in information, but what I want you to do is be able to go under settings, and then let's see, they've changed this around, but I'm looking for roles and responsibilities. They're always updating this. So this is phone number, mobile app, invoices, store shipping, accept payment. Here we go. I skipped it. This is where now we can add people to our site. So let's say I wanted Josh, you're gonna help me build the site, right? It's gonna be off the chain. I'm gonna sell some pretty cool shirts. I like that Mickey shirt you got on. That's pretty cool. So we're gonna sell that on the site, make some money. So Jay Boteo, at Laverne.edu, boom, and boom. I just sent Josh an email. Now he can add as a contributor. I'm gonna be the owner of the website, but now he can start to add to the site with me. Oh, you know what? I forgot to select a role. He's gonna be a co-owner. You're gonna be a co-owner, Josh. Can I trust you? Thumbs up. All right. So you give them a role and then you send your invite, and your invite was sent. Give your intended better experience. Okay. They will survey you a lot. To give your invitee a better experience, tell us how you're connected to each other. Oh, wow. They want to know if we're like friends, Josh. An agency, let's say Josh is he's a colleague of my business. So anyway, so that is one thing that's important. And I want you to get familiar with Wix. It's really intuitive, great program. They support our integrated business practicum. You can start to kind of get familiar with the front end, the back end, and adding contributors. So next steps is going to be, like we talked about, creating some of the content, the About Us page. Maybe you talk about your charity, your team, some headshots. Nowadays with an iPhone with portrait mode, I'm not the best looking guy, but that portrait mode, I love it. I'm like, oh, get the good side, But your team, your message, your products, start adding content to it. And you might be in a spot right now where you aren't sure what your products are going to be. And that's okay too, but find where you will need to, you're going to need probably like a Facebook page or an Instagram page where, as you talk with your other professors about your marketing outlets, start thinking about what you can do now. So what I'm going to do now is stop the share. I think I've covered everything that we wanted to do. It's about 4:02. And I think what we want to do is break out into breakout groups. But welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a chance to get in with your groups, figure out who's doing what, when and where and why and all that stuff. I popped in on Professor Hicks' group. You guys look like you were doing good work. And I just wanted to end by kind of giving you all, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Definitely some words to the wise as you're picking your products. I mean, if these are going to be shipped, definitely think about shipping in your weights. And you're going to want to get to know the USPS kind of rates and what the weights are. When you buy things through Wix, you can actually get better rates than if you actually physically went down to the USPS office, and you can schedule pickups. But we're going to talk about that in the future. But hopefully everybody's got their plan. They're starting their websites. We're gonna get the codes later to upgrade them and get the full features of what Wix can do. But work on the content, the About Us, the FAQs, the team, your policies. Don't forget about your domain name. I know you're picking your product and there's a lot coming at you quick, but do remember to check, because that will be something we're gonna be doing next time when we upgrade the sites. You're gonna be able to connect that www.yourcompany.com. And if you want, download the Wix mobile app. It's kind of cool. When someone visits your website, you can actually get a little notification, so you can really see your traffic in real time. You get a little pop-up on your phone. It says, bling, somebody's from Chino Hills or something like that, or Nebraska. So you can see where your traffic is coming from. But while we have, I'm going to turn it over to Mark, but I wanted to share, Mark is an excellent consultant at the SBDC, and he actually just got a 5-star review from one of our clients. So give it up for Mark. Says, my business partners and I got help with setting up a new company. They were efficient, on point, and extremely helpful. The SBDC is a tremendous value of helpful resource. So these are the type of things that really go a long way in the long-term longevity of your companies, asking for reviews. So when you get that little follow-up email, and they can do triggered emails with Wix, say things like, hey, give us a like, a comment, thumbs up, all that good stuff. So with that awesome 5-star review, I will kick it over to Mark for those words of wisdom that we will come to know and love. Take it away, Mark. He's just gonna leave me hanging. He's on mute.
Okay. So you spent the first day going through trying to set up your website, trying to get into Wix, trying to figure all this stuff out. We need to use this time as best we can so that it doesn't bleed into some of your other time. Because on Thursdays, you're going to be asked to, I'm sure all of your other professors will be asking you to start a business plan. And so now you're going to get a lot of information, a lot of work doing all of that. So you're going to have to cut out some time to get together, a few of you or all of you, to continue to build your website. So stay on track with all of those things. Stay on track. If you have to replay the video from today, just stay on track so that you get all this stuff done, so that when we end up at the end of the 4 weeks, you've got a site that's up and running, that's going to be able to, it's a commerce site, it's going to be able to take some cash from people and deliver a product to them. So a lot of stuff ahead of us. This is just the beginning, but it will be fun at the end. All right. Rick, do you have anything?
No, I don't. I went over everything with my group. We're still in the process of selecting products and getting organized. Also, there has been, just for the whole group of everybody listening, there's been some concerns and some students having difficulties getting into their Blackboard course files. If you have specific problems if you're locked out or don't know where to go. For example, in my class, I've created an organizational file where the regular Blackboard course is not used because I condense all our students into one file. And so some of our students get a little confused trying to find their course file when I've created an organizational file, especially if you have not been participating in our January meetings. But be that as it may, if you're having difficulties being locked out of your Blackboard file, the options are either contact your professor for that class directly or contact your academic advisor to let them know that you cannot get into your course file. That'd be the correct procedure if you're having difficulties. Contact your professor or your academic advisor. If you live in Miami, Florida, forget it. I don't want to hear from you. That's a joke, Sebastian. I'm just joking.
Oh, we really had to do that. Oh no, but I got a question though. Are we gonna have class today, Professor Hicks?
Yes, you are. You will be getting an email shortly for the Zoom room.
There you
Sorry
go.
about that.
All right, great. Okay, I'm done.
This is the chapter that explains a lot of the social media strategy and stuff that you're going to need. Okay, read it. I don't mean read it tonight. You guys' brain's probably going to pop open right now with all the stuff that you have to do and everything else that you're doing. Keep it handy, read it. It's a good chapter to read and to have so that you can do it. As you can see, it's chapter 16. If we ran this like a regular marketing class and I showed you chapter 16 in the week 15 of your course, you guys would be a little upset. We need it right now. So I'm going to send that out and you guys can click on it. It's in a Dropbox folder. You can send it and put it on your thing. Okay. But good luck. Just remember both myself, Professor Hicks, Professor Hasse, we've done this. We're all in this together. We are one big team and we're here to help.
All right, well, that's it. We'll see you guys same bat time, same bat channel next week. Until then, have a great week and watch.